Good morning. My name is Kathy Key, and I am your worship associate today. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of the North Hills. Whether you have been with this church a decade or more, or this is your first time visiting, we welcome you. Whatever the faith and traditions of your past, we welcome you. Whatever your theological stance, we welcome you. Whoever you are and whomever you love, we welcome you. Whoever you are, whatever your journey has been, we welcome you. Newcomers and guests are always welcome to participate in any of our church activities. If you'd like more information about our church or Unitarian Universalism, please talk to our minister, Rev. Jane Thickstun. You can find her contact information on our website, uucnh.org. Be sure to join us for coffee hour after the service. The Zoom link will be posted in the YouTube chat at the end of the service. We will be breaking into small groups for better conversation. This week, you can also connect with each other by Zoom for an informal chat on Tuesday afternoon and Wednesday night vespers. On Tuesday evening at 7:15, there is a public forum on Black Lives Matter hosted by our neighbor, St. Brendan's Episcopal Church. Rev. Jane encouraged us to attend in her column this week. To get the Zoom link, you need to register by sending an email. You can find the info on their website, stbrendans.org, or in the e-blast about it from our church. Again, welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of the North Hills. It is good to be together, even virtually.
Good morning. We gather this day in expectation and hope. To this gathered circle in virtual reality, we bring memories and connections, hopes and fears and aspirations. May we renew again that fellowship which is deepened and enriched by our sharing. May we hold one another in that esteem that makes family of us all. Come, let us join together in the celebration of life.
The chalice lit amongst us is a beacon of hope in a world in crisis, a beacon of possibility made manifest in community, a beacon of warmth through our interconnectedness, a beacon of light illuminating our shared wisdom, a beacon of connection by our being together. Our opening hymn is My Life Flows On in Endless Song, number 108 in the Gray Hymnal. The words will be on the screen.
My life flows on in endless song above earth's lamentation. I hear the real, the far-off hymn that hails a new creation. Through all the tumult and the strife, I hear the music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? What though the tempest round me roars? I know the truth it liveth. What though the darkness round me close? Songs in the night it giveth. No storm can shake my inmost calm, while to that rock I'm clinging. Since love reveals in heaven and earth, how can I keep from singing? When tyrants tremble as they hear the bells of freedom ringing, when friends rejoice both far and near, how can I keep from singing? To prison cell and dungeon vile, our thoughts to them are winging. When friends by shame are undefiled, how can I keep from singing?
Today, I Will Fly, an Elephant and Piggy book. Written and illustrated by Mo Willems, and read today with the generous permission of the author. Today, I will fly. No, you will not fly today. You will not fly tomorrow. You will not fly next week. You will never fly. I will try. Goodbye. You will not fly. She will not fly. Fly, 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 fly. You need help. Thank you. I do need help. I will get help. Woof, 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 woof. I did it! I flew! Thank you for your help. You did not fly. I did not fly? You jumped! I jumped? It was a big jump? Yes, it was a big jump, but you did not fly. I will try again. I will eat lunch. Goodbye. Fly, 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 oof. You need help. I do need help. Will you help me? I will. I will help you. Thank you. Hello? Hello? You are flying! You are flying today! My friend can fly! She can fly! I am not flying. You are not flying? I am getting help. Thank you for your help. Tomorrow, I will fly. Good luck.
Hi, I'm Chris Hill with the Lay Pastoral Care Team. During our service, we create this sacred space for sharing within our community. It's a time to share significant life passages with the congregation so you can be held in loving care. I'll be reading the joys and sorrows this morning. We'll be placing a stone representing each joy or sorrow in the sand, representing our congregation, supporting the sorrows and lifting up the joys. Janet McCall has two joys. First, after a very long delay, Contemporary Craft will finally open its beautiful new home in Upper Lawrenceville to the public this week. My second joy is the tremendous outpouring of support from many people who made this possible. To Janet and everyone at Contemporary Craft, we say, we share in your joy. Janet also has a sorrow. My sorrow is that longtime Contemporary Craft board member Ed Rockman, who played such a pivotal role in our relocation, is not here to celebrate this milestone with us. To Janet we say, we hold you in our hearts. From Hal Dixler, a joy. This week is the 50th anniversary of my move to Pittsburgh and starting a new job. The job was at Online Systems, a computer tech and communications company in the North Hills. I'd been relocated from Rochester, New York, where I was employed at a nuclear research laboratory at the University of Rochester. That research was canceled when government funding for basic science dried up due to the costs of the Vietnam War. To Hal we say, we share in your joy. We now place one more stone in the sand for all the joys and sorrows that exist in our hearts but remain unspoken today. We especially think of everyone suffering, directly or indirectly, from this COVID-19 pandemic. Please read with me the words appearing on the screen, understanding that here includes all those watching. Let us hold in our circle of caring each person here. Let us hold in our hearts those who are unable to be with us today. Let us hold in our memories those who have moved on. Let us find comfort in knowing that we are not alone.
I invite you now to join me in a spirit of prayer or meditation. So please settle in a little more comfortably. Close your eyes if you wish. Allow your body to just relax. Breathe in deeply and breathe out slowly. Breathing in compassion and breathing out peace. Spirit of life and love, we turn aside from the busyness of our lives seeking the peace of openness, calmness, and clarity. We gather this day on our computers to be reacquainted with sources of hope, expressions of goodness, the power of love and courage. To this time together, we carry our concerns and our griefs for that which we have lost, for that which we never had, and for that we cannot mend. And we carry our hopes for that which we can transform and heal and renew. To this time, we carry our deepest thanks for love which comes to us unbidden, for the quiet gift of peace, for the meanings which emerge from service. In this short time, we bring the fullness of life together. May we find in this community a spirit of acceptance and trust, which reminds us of the great cycle of life that gently turns round to where it once began. We especially hold today in our hearts those affected by Hurricane Laura, the fires in California, and the shooting and its aftermath in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Let us pause for a few moments of silent reflection.
Our reading is from a book called Small Group Ministry by Bob Hill, a Unitarian Universalist minister, former district executive, and covenant group ministry guru. He writes, "Small group ministry gives us a way to better serve one another and all others who need us. When small group ministry changes the culture of a church, that church becomes less contentious and more open-hearted." A subscriber to Covenant Group News recently wrote about a single covenant group that produced enough change to avoid what could have been a serious rift in her laity-led fellowship. The lone covenant group had been meeting for less than a year when all heck broke loose one Sunday over a perceived instance of intolerance toward Unitarian Universalist Christians. The fight that was developing was the kind that can drive away members and then, like a never quite extinguished forest fire, linger in a small congregation for years. In this instance, though, the fight was over in 2 weeks. The woman said people, quote, talked out their differences, and came to new understandings of each other, close quote. How was this crisis resolved so uncharacteristically well? She concluded, many of the Covenant group members were involved, directly or indirectly, with this controversy. We used the openness, mutual respect, and support we'd found within the group to embolden us to model a different way of behaving for the whole church. I do credit the Covenant group model and our use of it with providing the support, the courage, and the way to move our church through what could have been a very divisive time.
When I was new to Unitarian Universalism, my home church in Deerfield, Illinois, had a strong women's group. As part of that, I belonged to a small group that met twice a month, and it fed me in ways that I really needed. We shared deeply with each other and formed bonds that lasted. In the early 2000s, when I was serving my first congregation in Michigan, small group ministry started taking the UU world by storm. We started a program there with 5 groups, and there's been a program in every congregation I've served ever since. Over time, I've learned what works and what doesn't, and I consider it one of the most important ministries a congregation can offer. You've had covenant circles here in the past, but not for the last few years. I'm happy to be working with Maggie Wilson and others to bring this valuable program back, and I only wish we could have done it sooner. Let me give you an overview of the program we're implementing this fall. The heart of a covenant group is its covenant. The group members together create a covenant that says how they wish to be with each other. It usually includes a strong commitment to make the meetings, to be on time, and other promises that provide the trust needed for deep sharing. The group consists of 6 to 10 people who meet twice a month at the church, but which, for now, probably need to meet by Zoom. The format of the meeting consists of an opening reading, a check-in, focus for sharing, a closing checkout, and a closing reading. The covenant may also be read at meetings. It reinforces it. The groups are facilitated by trained facilitators who meet regularly with the minister. The idea is that the minister ministers to the facilitators, and they in turn minister to their groups. We have a great group of facilitators, and as is customary in these programs, the groups will be expected to perform some service each year to the congregation. The practice of participating in covenant groups can be transformative because it provides a safe container for the expression of feelings and the intimate bonds that can be created. To achieve that safe container, there are certain rules that must be followed. One person talks at a time, no crosstalk, no commenting on what others share, at least the first time around. It is not discussion. And in fact, in the past, I've used a talking stick or talking egg that only the person who's holding that item can be speaking at a time. The topics are offered as a way to focus the sharing, which comes from the heart, not the head. People share their experience and their feelings, not their knowledge. Now, this can be very hard for Unitarian Universalists, but the payoff is tremendous. It is also not therapy. The facilitators can help keep the meetings from devolving into discussion or keep the sharing balanced in terms of time. We want to make sure that the introverts get as much time as the extroverts. That's part of what makes this model work. The groups offer general support, but if someone has a greater need than the group can provide, they can be referred to me. Our program will regroup each year in the fall. This allows the groups to shift membership, allows people to step out for a year, for instance, if they need to, if things get complicated in their lives, or to start up if they hadn't already when they hear how much others like the program. So your commitment is just for 1 year at a time. I hope you will consider joining a covenant group. A sign-up form will be available on the website very soon. Watch your e-news for developments. And you'll be signing up by the day and the time you can make. That's how we form the groups, by the time. And we're planning to form these groups in September so that they can start meeting in October. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email me. Best way to reach me is through email. You can find my email address on the website. It's minister@uucnh.org. And now let's hear from some folks who have experienced the covenant groups here in this congregation in the past.
Good morning. My name is Julie Cant, and I currently serve as your board president. My experience with small group ministry began in 2014 when I participated in my first covenant circle during the ministry of Reverend Scott Rudolph. The next year, I was asked to co-facilitate a group with Adam Herschel. At first, I was a little anxious since I'd attended UUCNH for less than 2 years and did not know most of the people in my group. I was also unsure how the prescribed structure would work. As you have heard from Reverend Jane, each session has a basic pattern, beginning with opening words and chalice lighting. The first task of each group is to create and agree upon a covenant, especially around the issue of confidentiality. At the beginning, I did not really understand the terms deep sharing and deep listening. After 2 or 3 sessions, I recognized the importance of these tools. Small group ministry can be very powerful, promoting intimacy, guided by ultimacy, and producing growth. I'm now quoting from a resource that we were given as a facilitator, Implementing Small Group Ministry. Intimacy is an increased depth of relationship that comes from meeting regularly over an extended period of time, from willingness and ability to listen without comment or advice, from willingness to learn from others, and from willingness to share from your heart. Ultimacy focuses on meaning and significance rather than details, information, chit-chat, or even outcome. As to growth, members have the opportunity to develop skills and grow in confidence as leaders within and beyond the group. In the best outcome, members grow in generosity, cooperation, and a sense of well-being. There were many moments when I felt I was heard and supported, a feeling I recognized from being in therapy at different times during my life. And there were many moments when I sat motionless, silently listening to and empathizing with the stories of other group members. When you speak from your heart and are not interrupted, you feel heard, understood, supported, and empowered. When you listen deeply to other people's stories, you feel a connection to those individuals. All this comes through the action of deep sharing and deep listening. At the end of the church year, each of these groups also planned an activity, a service project to do together that they had selected. So, here are my recommendations for you to get the most out of your time in a covenant group. Attend regularly, listen deeply, and when you are ready, Share from your heart. I'd like to finish with a quotation from Michelle Norris, the NPR commentator. Anytime you listen to someone else's story deeply, you honor them. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ellen Saxon, and I've been a member at UUCNH for about 7 years. In those 7 years, I've had the opportunity to participate in Covenant Circles 3 times, twice as a participant and once as a facilitator. And I found them to be some of the most rewarding things I've ever done here at church. When I was a new member, I was grateful to our Covenant Circle for giving me an opportunity to interact with members in a deeper, more intimate way than what coffee hour could provide. For people who are more introverted, these small groups can be wonderful ways to get to know other members. There were some incredibly touching, honest, difficult, triumphant, and wow, some awkward and humorous moments too. I remember being reminded a few times of the scene from Old School where Will Ferrell and his wife are in a counseling session and he shares an awkward moment and stammers on about how he thought he was in the trust tree, in the nest, are we not? In these small groups, we all covenant to be truthful and honest and to share thoughtfully. And it does feel like an important, special, protected moment in time. A trust tree, as it were. Modern society gives us such infrequent opportunity for deep sharing, and everyone in all 3 groups I worked with really leaned into their own level of comfort with the sharing they did. Whenever I left our sessions, I always felt like more of a human, doing what I was supposed to do with the life I've been given. To listen, to connect, to respect, to ponder, and to come away different and better, having learned or thought of something in a new way, about ideas and also about the people in my group. There are so few things that make me feel that way. Covenant Circle made me truly appreciate many additional things, but certainly the members in our congregation. As a facilitator, I found it a little challenging at first to remind our group that our job was simply to listen, as opposed to get into dialogue. I found it challenging to enforce time limits on talking in order to give everyone equal time. These responsibilities may seem banal, but were critical to making sure everyone felt heard and no one felt judged for what they were sharing. I took my role of facilitator seriously because 6 people took time out of their busy and varied lives once a month and showed up. And I felt it was my job to foster the right atmosphere that would lend itself to deep sharing. I think it worked most of the time. I look at Covenant Circles as a unique, rare opportunity to calm and nourish our spirit, to gently force us to be in the moment and to stay there for a while, to make new friends based on going a level deeper, to simply listen without the pressure of having to say anything back that's witty or calculated or careful. I cannot recommend the Covenant Circle small group experience enough, so I hope I see some new faces along with some veterans this year. Thanks.
Our final hymn is Lean on Me. It's number 1021 in the Teal hymn book if you happen to have that at home, but the words will be on the screen.
Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow. But if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry somebody to lean on. If there is a load you have to bear that you can't carry, I'm right up the road. I'll share your load if you just call me, lean on me. But when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend, I'll help you carry on. For it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on.
Our congregation is supported solely by the contributions of its members and friends. In tough times, we need our faith community more than ever. Let's make sure to maintain it, even in this difficult time. The morning offering will be taken by your going to the uucnh.org website, finding the link in the upper right-hand corner that says Donate, and making a contribution equivalent to what you would be putting in the plate, or more. May these gifts and the work of our hands and hearts give power to all we stand for as a community of faith.
Let us remember that we are a source of strength for each other, and not just strength, but courage and support, and yes, even love. May we experience the personal and spiritual growth that can happen and come from a practice of deep listening. May we find new ways to connect and connect deeply through participation in a covenanted small group with others in our congregation. And in the words of my internship supervisor, Reverend Annie Forster, As far as our love flows, as far as our hope grows, as far as our yearning goes, we are no farther from one another. Blessed be. Amen.